Welcome to the Four Rooms podcast, where we explore the four rooms of entrepreneurship: health, wealth, scale, and relationships. Each episode is dedicated to opening new doors and uncovering insights that empower you to design your entrepreneurial journey to be both lucrative and fulfilling. And now, your hosts, Amber Spears and Brett Kaufman.
Welcome to With Karen D, the podcast, the place where we get real about one thing, and that thing is this: the reality that good things do not come to those who wait. Good things come to those who go out and get it. Have you ever felt like you're behind? Have you ever felt like what you're doing just literally sucks? So many people have been there. Have you felt like your bank account doesn't have as many zeros in it as it should be? Like you're not in the right relationship, you don't have the right career, you don't have as many clients. Have you ever felt like you're not where you're supposed to be, whether it's in your life, your career, your social life, the level of success you thought you would have had, or even your finances? If you've ever thought that, I want to let you know that you're normal, number one. And number two, there are a handful of questions you need to ask yourself to get out of that rut. Because that rut that you believe you're in, and for a lot of people who've been in it for a long time, it's time to get out. It's time to move forward. So let's get to it. Let's talk about the questions you need to ask yourself if you've ever felt, or if you're currently feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be. All right? Are you all in? Just before we get started, if you are not following With Karen D, the podcast, right now, I want you to pause the video. I want you to like. I want you to subscribe. I want you to click whatever you need to set up the notifications, so every time an episode drops, which is weekly, you get a notification. And my one and only ask of you is this: if what you hear on this specific episode or any other episode that you listen to or watch resonates, or if it's something that you believe someone else can benefit from, all I ask is that you share it. Share the link, post it, share it, I don't care. Let's just get it out in the world, because here's my whole mission. My whole intention with this podcast is to remind everyone, sometimes myself, that we are enough as is. We have to be intentional about letting go of comparing ourselves against other people, comparing ourselves against narratives that we don't even know if they're our own. So once again, welcome to With Karen D, the podcast. So let's start here. If you have ever thought that you're actually behind in some part of your life, whether it's professionally, whether it's socially or relationally, I want you to ask yourself this question: are you actually behind, or are you measuring yourself against a timeline that you didn't even choose? Are you measuring yourself against a timeline that possibly you've inherited? Most people have gone through a public or private education system, even a homeschooling system, where we often hear things like this: by the time you finish high school, you should know exactly what you want to do. You should know exactly what career you want to be. And we're honestly pushed way too early to decide what we want to do for the rest of our lives. So what's been imposed upon us from so many different facets is, you should be married by this age. You should have a house. You should have a car. Have you ever felt that I'm behind because I don't own any property? I'm behind because I might live here, or I don't live here. I want you to ask yourself, where those frameworks, where those timelines, where those milestones even came from. Are they actually yours? Because the fact of the matter is this: most of the time when we think we're behind, we're not. Most of the time when we think we're behind, here's what's happening. Comparisonitis. That's a new word. I made it up. I don't know if it's real, but we're going to use it here today. Comparisonitis happens, and you think you're behind. You believe you're behind simply because someone has reached somewhere that you want to be before you. And if that's the case, you're not behind. That is your ego speaking. That has nothing to do with you being behind. So I want you to ask yourself, where did I get this from? Is this timeline even mine? And if I truly feel behind, why am I feeling behind? What's driving it? And if it's your ego, you have to let it go. And like, this is the time where you get to decide. And I don't care. You might be 15 listening to this. You might be 21. You might be going into high school. You might be going to post-secondary education. You may be going into your third career. You could be 50, 45, 32, 65. And I want to remind you that it is okay to change your mind. It is okay to not know. It is okay to not know what you want. You know, I have a good friend of mine. I won't share her name. Love her to pieces. And we grew up together from a young age. And she did not decide or did not realize what she wanted to do professionally until her early 30s. She went to high school, she went to college, she did not know what she wanted to do. And the reason she went to college was to appease her parents. So she took a program for the sake of taking a program, got a job in that field, and in her early 30s, she was able to sit and say, you know what? I now know what I want for myself. And she is now an award-winning interior designer who also has an interior design school. But I want to remind you that she discovered that through realizing what she didn't want. Early 30s. I want to remind you that it's never too late to decide. So if you're feeling like you're behind and by this age you should have had this, by this age you should have been married, by this age you should have finished your degree, by this age you should have owned 2 homes, by this age you should have traveled the world, cut it out. It's not true. I want you to be intentional about deciding what is true for you. Now, the other question I want you to ask yourself is this. If what I am feeling behind about is my true desire and it's not driven by ego, I want you to ask yourself this question. What am I afraid of doing that I know, like innately know, will move me forwards? Because here's the thing. In those moments where you feel like you're behind and it's a true desire, not comparisonitis and not driven by your ego, you know what you should do. If you feel behind, here's the exercise I have my clients do all the time. And it's interesting because I work with CEOs, I work with entrepreneurs, 8-figure entrepreneurs who own multiple businesses. And this exercise is one I do with that whole gamut that I just named. I want you to write down where you feel behind, what area of your life, and be hyper specific. So I feel behind in relationships. All my friends around me, they're, in deep relationships, loving relationships. Some of them are married, and I want that for myself. We're the same age. I feel behind in that area. I want you to write it down with that type of specificity. And then I want you to look at it and look at how you've been beating yourself up about something you could possibly have some movement on. Did this exercise with a colleague, a client now colleague, right? Nonetheless, I then want you to ask yourself, what 2 steps could I take in this direction to attain what I truly desire? So you want the relationship, and here's how I challenged her. I said, well, are you committed to having what you say you desire? In this area that you've created, that you feel behind in, are you committed to take the steps to get what you want? And of course, everyone verbally says yes, but I want you to write it down, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Because you don't have to share this list with anyone, and write down 2 steps that you know you should be taking and you're not to get to that desire. So for this specific colleague client, the question was, what do you know you need to be doing? And be like, okay, Karen, I get it. I'm like, no. I'm not here to call you out on anything. I want you to self-identify what is actually happening in your life and why you're beating yourself up and why you can stop beating yourself up. They don't go out anywhere. They work remotely. And my question was, okay, got it. You work remotely after work, after your working hours, when you log off of your computer, what do? They get in their comfy clothes and they chill on the couch. And my question to them was, when was the last time you saw Mr. Prince or Mr. King or that cutie join you on your couch in your home when your door is locked? And I asked, if you're dedicated, if you're committed to finding a relationship, you also have to be committed to getting yourself out there, because you will not be found on your couch. That person who's out there for you, and I guarantee you they're out there for you, can't find you on your couch. And this person, this colleague/client, did not like online dating. So that wasn't even an option. So I asked her, what steps could you take? And she said, you know what? I like champagne bars. I enjoy fine wine. She put down 2 steps, and those simple 2 steps were twice a month, I'm going to go to a wine bar or a champagne bar, and I'm going to sit at the bar and just be open to conversations. So we didn't say go on 15 dates per week or per month. Be open to the possibility that what that desire, that area that you feel like you're missing out on or you're behind, can happen for you. And then put action behind it. You see, when we think we're behind, we often know what we need to do, but we fear if we do it, it may not happen for us. And here's what I want to tell you. You might be right. It may not happen for you right away. It may not happen for you tomorrow, but it will happen for you. And it comes down to you. And I'm going to remind you, like, the whole essence behind this podcast here is good things don't come to those who wait. Good things come to those who go out and get it. And as you decide on those 2 steps that you are going to take forwards and you just open yourself to possibilities, here's a great magic that happens. It may not look like how you think it should look. So let's go back to this colleague of mine. Going to the wine bars, don't worry, I'm gonna end the story. I'm gonna tell you what actually happened. Going to the wine bars, she ended up joining a wine club. She was just open to doing something she liked. The other great thing was she was in the company of other people who liked what she liked. She liked wines and champagnes. She joined a wine club. Everyone there, they already had something in common. Was she looking for a partner? Yes, but was that her main focus? No. And as she started to enjoy being around people and being open to possibility, who did she find? She found Mr. Wonderful. And what was even nicer was they were connected on something mutual already. And they started to take outside of the wine club to a coffee, and the coffee turned into dinner, and the dinner turned into let me cook for you, and they've been together for years. And that might not be your situation, but I really want you to consider what you're not doing in that area that you desire. As I get ready to really roll this up, being behind is not true. You're only behind if you're comparing yourself against someone else or something that someone has. And my friends, I want to remind you that there is no one else like you on this earth. Even if you're a twin, a triplet, or some type of multiple, your genetic makeup is different. Your life is not supposed to look like your sister's, your brother's, your father's, mine, anyone else around you. And it's time for you to take ownership that your way is the right way for you. There are gurus out there. There are people we admire. There are people who we really admire the path that they've taken to get where they got. But you also don't know the struggles they've gone through to get where they've got. I want you to be proud of where you are right now. Stop calling yourself behind. Stop putting the focus on what you're behind on and focus on making the decision to take simple 2 actions towards what you truly want. When you start to ask yourself those questions, when you start to put in that type of action, everything shifts. My friend, you're not behind. You get to decide. You're either spending time commiserating on what's not happening for you or taking 2 simple steps and being open to possibilities. Because good things don't come to those who wait. Good things come to those who go out and get it. It's time for you to go out and get yours. This is Karen D signing off.
As we wrap up today's episode, we have something special just for you. If you've been inspired by what we've explored today and you're ready to take your learning to the next level, then our 4 Rooms Mastermind live event is the perfect next step. And because you're a part of our podcast family, we're offering an exclusive 10% discount on your registration when you apply and are accepted. This is your chance. It's your chance to build relationships with other ambitious entrepreneurs like yourself, to dive deeper into the 4 rooms of entrepreneurship, and to connect with experts who can truly help accelerate your growth. Simply follow the event link in the description of this episode and use the promo code 4rooms10. That's FOURROOMS10 on your application to claim this opportunity. This offer is subject to application approval and it's limited, so don't wait too long to make your decision. Join us and transform your journey with the insights and networking that only our live events can offer. Thank you for tuning in today. We look forward to seeing you at the event and, of course, right back here next time on the 4 Rooms podcast. Until then, keep balancing and keep growing.